something like that, and to not see the consequences 2-3 steps ahead in your mind. If I do this, then this, and this will happen. And I mean, it just seems like that must not have happened unless this is, just one of the most evil people in human history. But I don't know. Maybe he was.
I mean, it certainly does almost seem that way, given that he put the gasoline on the stairs.
Yeah, knowing that was the only... He could have gone down
to... Yeah, no, and he... Because she worked there for a while. He knew it was the only entrance and exit. He'd been there many times. He could have taken the gas can down to the coat check and thrown the gas on her.
Yeah.
And not that would have been okay, but you know what I mean? Like, that would have been more targeted, more specifically revenge. Like, to me, it does seem like he knew what he was doing. He didn't want anyone to get out. No one.
You would think, though, between the act of buying the gas and the container, you would think that you would come to your senses. Whoa, what am I doing here?
You would think so. Yes, you would think so. You would hope to God that somebody would have that realization. But I don't know, like, think about it in less extreme acts. Like, can we dial it back a notch a little bit? You're going to have to help me out because being a woman, I actually don't understand this as well. But, like, have you seen guys in, like, bar fights that you've been friends with?
Yes. Yes, I have. And in fact, I've been in a bar fight or two.
Yeah, like, explain, isn't it similar? Do you feel like it's similar at all?
It
like
is.
They don't realize what they're doing could result in...
It's a flashpoint. Yeah, it's normally a flashpoint that happens, and next thing you know, they're beating on each other. But there again, alcohol's involved.
That's true. But there could have been here, too. He was a drinker. You know what I mean? There could have been here. Like, often there is. In cases of arson, there often is intoxication, either drug or alcohol. So let's say that that's a component there, too. Like, if you go off in a bar fight, couldn't you just as easily kill somebody accidentally?
You could, but all the ones I've seen or even taken a part in, which is very few, it's not like I'm out there bar fighting every weekend. I used to be a bouncer in a nightclub, believe it or not. I'm a pretty big guy. I was always a football player, so I was, pretty big guy. And I actually worked at a nightclub very similar to what you're describing here, except it was a legal nightclub. And I had to break up my fair share of lover disputes. And they get very heated very quickly. And I could see this guy getting angry like that because I've seen people like that in the heat of the moment. It's amazing how it goes from cool, calm, and collected to flashpoint in seconds. And you can't really predict it sometimes who's going to be the ones to fight, but there they are. They're beating on each other. But generally, once you have them outside and they realize that they're just beating on their buddy, they go, oh, man, what the hell is I doing? They shake hands and they go down the street talking about it. A lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, you used to do music all the time. I'm sure you've seen some.
I used to be in bar fights all the time. Yes, I have seen many a bar fight. I have actually been in one or two.
That's right.
But not. I wasn't a willing participant. I was just sort of cut. But from the stage, I have seen many bar fights, and usually, often, there's one guy, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's kind of poking around, seeing who may be amenable to
throw down,
participating, and then that leads to it. And sometimes it's the biggest guy there, sometimes it's the smallest guy.
In my experience, though, being a bouncer, I would say 7 out of 10 times it was the little guy.
Yeah, I believe it.
That was the instigator. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yes, I've seen it, and it's a combination of all the things we're talking about. It could be someone who actually is looking to be beat up. Mm-hmm. That's really ultimately what you're talking about. It's kind of like a suicide by cop thing, where if you really think it through, that was the ultimate goal. Someone who's just really aggravated. Maybe they have problems within themselves, they have some self-esteem, whatever, and what they're really looking to do is get beat up. Well, what's the easiest way to get beat up? Start a fight.
That's true. That usually does the trick.
I mean, so it's sometimes things like that. Sometimes it's, it's a relationship problem, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, that kind of thing that starts it, and then other people get involved. Sometimes it's something relatively minor, but people around think they need to be all super tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll protect you from, that kind of thing. That's the one sort of fight that I've been in the last 20 years. That's what it was. I was all super drunk, just an idiot. But I saw one friend of mine picking on another friend of mine and said, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't pick on him, blah, blah, blah." I mean, it was just rolling around.
Next thing you know, it's a rollicking fight. You got bar stools flying everywhere. Eric smashing the other guy over the head with a beer bottle.
Here's where we were rolling around. In the back of the van as my wife drove home. We are fighting. We're not fighting. We're rolling around wrestling in the back of the minivan.
Wow.
With my wife driving home, and oh my
God, in a minivan of all things.
Wow,
the next day, we both felt like such total idiots. We actually went to each other's houses to apologize because it was so retarded. Oh my God, it was dumb. And everyone around is like, "Oh my God, this is the most stupid thing I've ever seen." And the guy who was being picked on was like, "No, you don't have to defend me.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that." But I mean, we were both. You know how it is. You're in a frame of mind.
Sure.
For whatever reason, there's something negative. There's something something gnawing at you. And then you drink too much. It doesn't take much.
But as a bouncer, though, I gotta say, working that profession, I did that for like 4 years. I gotta say, women, by far, were more apt to fight usually than men were. That was so weird, and I hated it because
I don't go out
because they fought dirty. You see, the guys were pretty much throwing punches. No, not girls. They're gouging, kicking, spitting, biting, whatever they could possibly do. And as a bouncer, sometimes you'd be in that. I learned to use wear an athletic cup pretty early on in that career.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because
easy to get caught up.
Yeah, they're pretty free kickers.
Festivities.
Yeah, they're pretty free kickers. So I learned that right away. But women, believe it or not, have us guys beat in the aggression department quite often, and they are. Let's just say guys don't want to fight women because they do not fight fair all the time, and women are tough. I'm telling you, women are tough.
I mean, first of all, why would we fight fair? I'm thinking, because we are smaller and weaker. But no, I don't. I have not ever had that happen. Knock on wood. Don't want to.
I watched this lady one time when I was working the bar. She grabbed another gal. This gal had this really long hair, like almost down to her butt. I watched her grab this blonde-haired lady with the long hair, drag her through the whole entire bar on her back by her hair. And
that was not nice.
And kicking her in the head the whole time.
Oh my gosh. I was hit one time. I take that back. I was like, I was hit one time. I didn't fight though. It's just not me.
No. You're a lover, not a fighter.
I just asked her if she felt better now.
I was talking to my wife about this. She was blindsided once, and we were talking, when you see it on TV, even the shows that are trying to be quote unquote realistic, when you see people get in fights, it's never like what it feels like in the real world. I got punched once when I was DJing. I was at USC. I was at one of the frat houses. I was by myself. It was very late at night. I was loading my equipment out. It was the frat house opened up to a back alley. I'm parked in this alley at 3 a.m. Someone came along and punched me in the head from behind.
Oh my God.
Never even saw him. Just punched me in the head. Really hard, and I went down, and I hit my face when I went down. Like I said, this completely caught me off guard. Never saw, never heard, nothing. total sucker punch. And it hurt like a screaming mofo. That was one punch and falling down on my face. You see these fights on TV shows, even low-key, quote-unquote, realistic, right? Where they hit each other 2, 3, 4 times as hard as they can. Big, strong guys who know how to fight hit each other in the face 4 or 5 times. You could kill someone easily.
You could. Yes, you could.
Kill someone.
I mean, just to, that's the whole point, though, right? Is that you could. You could kill someone.
You could. Really. You could.
Like even you falling down and hitting your face, which I am sorry, that really sucks. But like, couldn't you? I mean, Eric, what if you had fallen into something with a sharp corner?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I was flattened.
Ton of bricks down on the ground.
Just boom down, hit my face.
And if you hit in just the right way.
And you're stunned. That's the thing. That's what they don't show on TV, right? A person gets hit, they just go yabbity yabbity yabbity, and they're right back in, and everything's okay. No, you are stunned for many, many seconds.
Yeah,
if you get hit in the head,
it's dangerous. And most of the people I dealt with as a bouncer, they had no clue how to fight because, well, A, they're inebriated pretty good, and B, let's just face it, they're not mixed martial artists here, so wasn't like there's a whole lot of real punches being landed. A lot of hugging going on.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy. I guess all that is sort of just to say though that you've got these cases where like Julio Gonzalez, where arson is what happened. But I do feel like the impulsivity is kind of the same. I mean, I feel like there's lots of people that get in fights on a maybe even fairly regular basis that could result in someone's death. And actually, there was one. I can talk about it now because I think it's been adjudicated. There was one up at a club when I used to live up in the Shasta area in Reading, where that exact thing happened, where a guy started a fight with another guy, and he fell just wrong into like a chair or something, and he died.
It's just not that hard because you're talking about the head and your brain's there, right? And it's just like you say, it's just falling the wrong way, hitting it the wrong way, hitting it on the wrong part of your head. You have vulnerable spots on your head.
Yeah, it was like kind of toward his temple, and it just that was it. You like, and the funny thing, not funny, the horrible thing about it, they had the video of this because they're security cameras. It's in seconds. It just takes seconds because it was the same sort of thing. He sort of sucker punched the guy. The guy goes down, hits his head. He dies. Now the guy is up for second-degree murder because it was intentional. He went after him to a certain extent, not to kill him necessarily, but that's what happened.
That was the result of the attack. That was the result. Death. Yeah.
And I think about these arson cases and I'm like, how is this different? Yes, they're using fire, and yes, there's the potential to kill many people as opposed to one. Sure. But it does happen. Like, okay, there was a second case that I wrote up that is, I feel like it's super disturbing personally, even though it's not as glaring as the Julio Gonzalez case. His name, believe it or not, is Thomas Sweat.
How about we go ahead and
let's go to break.
Yeah, let's go to break. And I just wanted to say really quickly, the reason why I quit bouncing was not because of the physical violence. When the gunfire started is when I had to quit, because they went beyond fighting to now using firearms, and that was where I was pretty much done at that point. So let's get out of here. Let's go to break. We come back. We're going to cover the second case of arson, death by fire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location.
My backyard.
Oh, your backyard. Try telling a bear that.
I did, and this bear talked back.
Talking bear, that's rich.
No, wait, it was Smokey Bear.
Smokey? Why didn't you say so?
I did say so.
Continue.
I was burning yard waste.
No, boy.
He told me to burn legally and responsibly, and to remember that if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
And as always, he's right. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Yeah, I know that now.
Thanks to me.
Actually, thanks to Smokey.
As usual, the talking bear gets all the credit. Get your smoky on. Always burn responsibly and contact your local